Hey y'all. Thank y'all for riding to work with me. I'm Tinesha. Nice to meet you. For those of y'all who don't know, and y'all just happen to jump in this car. Hold on, y'all. We gotta clean up all that. Alright. Yeah. So thank y'all for keeping me company on this ride because we are the best at multitasking. Question for today. Ask yourself, what can you multitask on? What can you stack up? Habit stack. That's what it is. What can you habit stack? What's some things that you already do that you can kind of still do it and do something else productive in the meantime? Productive. Even if production for you is being self-care, taking care of yourself. And I say that to say, like, sometimes it's good old while I'm watching TV, I could be doing this. Like, yeah, let's give ourselves permission to just take care of ourselves. Remember, this channel is fun and budget. So it's all about having fun while being responsible, right? So all things, you don't have to be like, I need to do this, this, and this to be productive. No, sometimes productivity looks like you're well rested, your spirit is smiling. That is what's important. Is your spirit smiling? So a lot of you know that we choose because we got to go to work, right? So while we're making this drive to work, we talk to each other. We keep each other company on the journey. And that's one way that I stack a habit. I'm drinking my coffee, made at home, usually made by my man, my boo thing, because he be up before me and he be out the house before me and he be making coffee and he makes me coffee too, and I love him for it. Thank you, boo. Because y'all know sometimes it's like, I take the lazy way out. We don't even have to give it any other title. It's the lazy way. And I say I'm gonna drive through somebody's drive-through. So yeah, we appreciate this. In this video, I want to talk to y'all about how I am rethinking everything. I'm redoing everything. Before this video, or before I told y'all about this, you know, my goal in life, what I felt like I was going to do was get ready to retire and then travel. Sell off everything and use that money toward travel. I am in a position right now, for those of you who don't know or haven't seen the video, because I can't say you've seen all my videos, but I would love it if you did. Just watch me. Just watch all the videos. But I said that in the FIRE, financial independence, retire early. That's what FIRE stands for. In the FIRE movement, I have reached all of the FIREs. I've reached Coast FIRE. Coast FIRE means that you have enough in your retirement accounts that if you did not add another penny to the account and you just let it ride up into the typical retirement age of 65, let's say 65, for some it could be 62, it could be anywhere between the ages of 62 and 67, so let's say 65. If I didn't put another penny in my retirement accounts, when I turn 65, I have enough to live off of, just letting the money accrue with compound interest. I already reached that. Regular FIRE is the fact that today I can use the money. Not only will it continue to grow throughout retirement, but I can also start withdrawing about 4% a year today. That's regular retire. And that's just to live like a basic, comfortable life, right? I've already reached that. So that means that every year, if I wanted to, I can start pulling 4%. Now, again, caveat. You cannot pull 4% from a retirement account, because a retirement account like a 401k or an IRA is designed that you can't start pulling from it without penalty until your retirement age, 65, right? But if you had some other accounts like brokerage accounts, things like that, and there are some ways that you can actually start pulling from your IRA, as long as you're not pulling your growth. There's a whole way of doing that. This video is not going into that, but there's a way of doing that. So it's to say that if I had some other accounts on the side, I can actually start pulling from those accounts. and funding my life from those accounts starting now. I've reached that. I can do that. F.I.R.E means that when I retire, with whatever age I choose to retire, whether it be now, whether it be 5 years from now, whether it be 65, I can live a higher lifestyle, a higher class lifestyle. Hold on, y'all wobbling. I ain't got y'all up there secure. Okay, there we go. For me, F.I.R.E means 100,000 a year. Regular FIRE for me means about 40,000 a year. Regular FIRE, which I've already reached, means that I can spend $40,000 a year and be okay. F.I.R.E for me, you can define your numbers for yourself. F.I.R.E for me is $100,000 a year. I don't even do that now, but it means I can spend and live off of $100,000 a year and still be okay. It's going to get me through until death do we part, right? According to my numbers, in 2 more years, I'll reach F.I.R.E in 2 more years. However, if I sold my house and put what I make from the sale into my investment accounts, I'm already at F.I.R.E. I'm already at F.I.R.E. So I say that to say I have a lot of options for flexibility. What I felt like I was going to do, again, was keep working, because honestly, for me, retirement isn't necessary. Like, I can keep working as long as I still have the freedom to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is take a vacation whenever I want. And for me, my company right now gives me 7 weeks vacation a year. So it means that I can do my 7 weeks. I don't have to like try to save days or whatever. But it also means while I'm working, I can also afford to take vacation without pay. That was the thing before. It was like, I don't have the vacation time. But technically, my company where I work allows us to take off and not get paid if we don't have the vacation time. I can afford to do that. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to retire as long as I get to vacation and travel the way I want and not have to worry about, do I have the time to do it? I do, because I don't necessarily need the paycheck anymore. So that was what I felt like I was going to do. And I still felt like, and then when I did decide to retire, I was going to sell my home and be more of a traveling nomad. Not so much that I would be like here, but I didn't want to necessarily go and live in another country and say, this is where I retired to. I retired to Mexico, or I retired to Thailand. I think I would do more like, I watched this channel called Grounded Life Finances, and they also have Grounded Life Travel. I love how they do it. What they do is they just choose where they want to be for, like, let's say a month or 2. And I think I would do it that way in the beginning. I would choose like, yo, for the month of January, we're going to stay in Mexico. For the month of this, we're going to go stay in Bali. For the month of this, we'll stay in France. That's the way I would do it, right? And so that was my big plan. When I did retire, in about 2 years, because I definitely want to reach F.I.R.E without having to sell the house, right? So there's 2 ways of looking at it. Right now, I'm telling you the numbers I have without selling my home. That's what it is. But if I sold my home, I would definitely already be at F.I.R.E in a position to retire and still spend $100,000 a year without even having a mortgage, guys. That's without even having a mortgage. To me, that is one of the biggest keys. The biggest keys is to have little to no bills, because our bills is what keeps us having to work. The stuff we have to pay for. So where I'm deciding what I want to do now, because y'all know I talked to y'all before about how my job was tripping and I was looking for another position and all of that. I decided I don't want to look for another position. I'm going to stay where I am. And then when something happens, let's say like this job comes to an end or whatever, I think I will then do this. And what I'm going to do is inspired by two of my very young co-workers. When I say very young, these babies, they're not 30 yet. One is like 26 and the other one is 27. So let's talk about the 26-year-old first. The 26-year-old, he's new to our team. He just started, but he had worked for the company before, right? And he's been gone for a while. And so one of my other coworkers remembered him, like, wait a minute, didn't you used to work on such and such project before? And he said yes. He said, but then he decided to go to England to a monastery and study and meditate there for 1 year. He said, so when he put in his 2-week notice to leave the company, they asked, like they do, why are you leaving? And he says, well, I'm leaving because I have been accepted to go study at this monastery for a year. And then they said, hold up. If that's the case, you don't have to leave. You don't have to quit. You can apply for a sabbatical. What? Mind blown. I didn't even know this was a thing. In my mind, I thought a sabbatical was a cute term you gave yourself when you decided to take a break from work, which it is. But what I didn't realize was that there are companies that actually support this, right? And so what this meant was he got approved for it. So he got to take off for a year. And while he didn't get a paycheck, he still was able to keep his employment benefits such as health insurance. I need to talk to him some more to find out, like, what were some more of the perks of sabbatical, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would a company allow you to just take off for a long period of time rather than just let you resign? What are the benefits? I got to look into that. And I know for sure every company is different and every company will have their different perks and benefits, but I want to know specifically for him and for the company he was working for or is working for, what did that look? How did that look? Right? So currently we have another guy, 27. He put in his 2 weeks notice. Now mind you, we all work for the same team under the same person. And we just had another person who quit. So, but this other guy put in his 2-week notice and he announced it during one of our meetings. And the people asked him, oh, well, where are you going next? Because, sometimes people don't answer that question, but then sometimes they do. So it never hurts to ask because either they're going to answer it or they not when they put on the spot. So they asked, good Lord. Okay, we got to stop anyway. They asked, where are you going next? And he said, to the beaches in Thailand. He was like, he ain't going anywhere next. He said he's taking a sabbatical. Like, what? First of all, have y'all heard of such? Is this something with this generation where they are just taking sabbaticals willy-nilly? I talked to the other guy who I told you guys, he said he just came back from England from a sabbatical. And he said his philosophy is why, and this is so the truth. But the fact that this young generation with full careers, over 6-figure careers, which that's another conversation, y'all, because I heard that people think 6 figures ain't even no money anymore these days. I don't even know. And when I say 6 figures, I'm talking about like the hundreds, 100,000, between 100 and 200,000. They feel like that, like you broke, you struggling if you making 6 figures. What? I mean, that's what I make, and I'm not struggling and I'm not broke. What? But anyways, so the fact that they are saying today, and this is what he said too, it's important for them to live today. Why would they wait until they're old to enjoy their life? They was like, they may not even have the same quality of life when they're older. So they're doing it now. They're taking advantage of it now. They're taking breaks now. They're taking off now. And they are living now because they know they can always find a job later. Love it. Love it. Love it. And so that has given me more permission, and it's caused me to rethink things. And so I said to myself, self, girl, they're doing it. They're living their lives bravely. And here I am still with my little excuses of security. I want more security. I want more security. I want F.I.R.E. Like, girl, bye. Because it don't even take $100,000 a year to live in another country, to be in another country. I watched another video where somebody was showing us their place in Tulum where they were staying for a month, and it was a whole house, a whole single family home, beautiful. $700 was the cost. $700. So anyways, I'm still not ready. I'm still scared. Because if I wasn't, this would be a whole nother video where I come up here and I tell you, y'all, we're going to be in someplace for a month tomorrow. But I'm not telling y'all that. We still driving to work right now, right? And so I say that to say my latest goal is that when this position comes to an end, that's why I'm not looking for another position. I don't even care about another position. When this position comes to an end, I will take sabbatical. That's my latest thing. I will go on sabbatical. Even the idea of saying I'm retiring, it just feels too final to me. I don't like that. Even though we all know you can always come out of retirement. But the idea of sabbatical says I'm taking a longer break. I'm taking a longer break. But my resources will not be drying up. Meaning that I will still be able to bring in large sums of money at some point in the future. Retirement feels like everything you've saved up until this point, that's what you're going to be using, so it's going to start dwindling. And we're not talking about side hustles and none of that stuff. We're just talking about the bare basic, your steady paycheck, right? So that's why I think the idea of sabbatical feels more like a nice, beautiful, cushiony nest to me. I love the idea of once I go and travel the world for a year or two, I can still come back and jump into the industry. That just feels better to me. And of course, we know that once I do it, I might decide like, yo, no, I ain't never going back. I'm good out here in these streets. But that's my latest strategy. Then also on top of that, I said, okay, boom, I will sell off the house. But now in this latest strategy, I'm thinking I won't sell off the house. I will keep the house, and the house will always be a landing pad for us in between whatever we're going to do. And plus, like I said, if I decide within a, under a 2-year window I'm coming back, we have a place to come back to because the house will be paid off. But also, we found a way that the house will be an income generating tool. It already is an income generating tool, right? We have roommates that we take in. So it already generates income. But we are also looking at, and this was from talking to one of you beautiful people who gave me such great information. We are going to look at turning 1 to 2 of the bedrooms into crash pads. And this is for pilots and flight attendants. And so that's how we'll also be an income generating tool. And what we would do, we would keep our space so that whenever we came back in between travel or whatever, we would have our own dedicated space to come back to. We wouldn't rent that space out. That is the latest and greatest plan, guys. And I am excited by that because I decided that this is what the plan would be. It takes away all anxiety from this good day job of mine. That lady can no longer get under my skin because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I was able to tell my company, like, I'm not even looking like, I'm not going on no interviews. I'm not putting on a outfit to impress anybody on an interview. I'm not updating a resume. I'm not, even though they updated my resume, I'm not studying nothing. I don't care because I am ready for sabbatical. Once it's clear that it's time to go on a sabbatical. And for me, this means I love receiving a paycheck that is easy to earn. I don't really work hard. And so to me at this point, it just feels like free money, right? I love that for me. So I'm not going to give that up, but I do know that the contract that I'm on right now is coming to an end. And so when it does, or when they decide to start letting people go because it's downsizing, I am at peace with that. And it's going to be me and Jay's time to take our show on the road. And so he is excited by this plan too. So he is stacking up as well to be ready for this transition. And that's what it is. But I love the fact that I could always come back to something when I want, when and if I want. But I'm also going to ask my company about possible taking a sabbatical, because if it keeps me with insurance, that would be awesome. And it's like, yo, I come back in a year and a half, that would be awesome. But I don't know what their policy is for that, or what the criterias are to be approved for something like that. All right, y'all, let's go into this office. Peace.